Hi guys, Sandy here. Welcome to my Make Some Plans video. I've been super busy in the studio this month with lots of things going on, so let's get right to it. The first thing I want to show you is I've made two pieces from this McCall's 76.95. We talked about this last month, and I made this vest, and I quilted it. I didn't really quilt it. I quilted two layers together, and I used a twin needle. So I actually did a video on using a twin needle on knits because I used a knit fabric. So this is the garment, and I'll post up a full picture. But this is this really cute Ralph Lauren fabric. And it's got a little bit of stretch to it, and then what I did was I just lined it with a black denim. So it's fairly heavy. There isn't any batting or anything in it, but it's a pretty heavy jacket because it's two layers of denim. It's sleeveless, and the denim had this really fun, roughly raw edge. So I cut that and added it around the neck edge and the sleeves to give it some detail, and it almost looks like fur. Somebody said to me, "Oh, you have such a cute furry sweater on." Then it's got a front zip, and it is channeled with a twin needle stitch all the way across. And that video, I'll make sure that there's a link to that video down below, and it shows how to use a twin needle, which you would use on any kind of a knit. If you're going to finish the sleeves or the hem on a knit, it's the perfect tool. It's so easy to use. And because the bobbin goes back and forth between the two needles, the two threads coming out of the needle, the stitch has some stretch to it. So it's perfect for a knit garment. So I made this because it was I had a remnant of this Ralph Lauren piece. I wanted to try out the pattern and see how the fitting was. And actually it was pretty good. I really liked the fitting on it. So my next project, this was what I wanted to make with it, was this bench sweater. I call it my Mr. Rogers sweater. It has a separating zip up all the way up the front. And again, I'll attach pictures of it. It's a stretch. It stretches one way. So it's this really cute Glen plaid with this purple and red soutache on top of it. It's very simple. So I didn't quilt it, even though the pattern calls for quilting. Is essentially this jacket down here, and the pattern calls for quilting. I really just wanted a sweater that I could wear, sort of throw on with a pair of jeans and boots instead of a sweatshirt, a hoodie or something. This looks a little bit more dressy. And then I just put a separating zip down the front of it. Sometimes, we sew things and we don't know exactly what we're going to do with them or how we're going to finish them, because I wasn't following the pattern. I used the pattern as a base, but then kind of moved on from there. And so I finished the bottom of it with this fold over elastic, which you can see how I've actually cut off the bottom of the jacket. I sewed it on, and then I ended up, I didn't like it at all, so I ended up cutting it off. And the problem was it was so stiff and the knit is so soft, it was making it bow out. So you can see that in the picture, that it was like the back of the jacket was bowing out. It was really odd. So I just cut it off, and I added this super soft Pontoroma that I cut into strips. I actually had it left over from this jacket because I had trimmed this jacket and decided that this would be perfect for the bottom of the jacket. And you can see the difference between the two, right? With the pictures side by side, this made a much better finish. It's soft and pliable as opposed to this, which is like hard and bouncy. So sometimes you make things, you think they're going to work and they don't, but the trick is to persevere, especially if you're manipulating patterns and you're not, following the rules. So those were my two my vest and my jacket from this McCall's pattern, and I love them. I don't sew a lot of McCall's patterns, so I was pleasantly surprised with the way that they came out. The other thing I've been doing is Minky scarves. I can't believe how popular these things are. So there's one back here on my little dummy, and then I have two more here. I made another one out of this white patterned Minky, and this is the one I made in my Minky, Make a Minky scarf video. So certainly we'll put a link in that for two also. But you can see that this one's pretty long, and it's twisted. You twist it when you sew it together. So when you put it on, and I'm sorry, this is going to go against the microphone. When you put it on, you can twist it, and you have this beautiful, right around your neck, super warm scarf. Now, if you have white hair, and that was my mom's biggest complaint, this just makes you look totally washed out. So I found there's all these printed Minkies, right? And they're all at fabric.com. This one is adorable. Same type of deal, made it exactly the same way, but it has some color. It's still soft. It's not as puffy as this one. It's still soft. Let's see. All right, at the risk of making a total disaster of my hair. See, it still fulfills, and I made it a little bit smaller because I knew it wasn't going to be as puffy, didn't need to take up as much room, but it's still warm and cozy, and actually covers your face and does the trick, but it has some color. So I have this teal blue coat. This looks amazing with that. Yeah, so that's that, and I'm going to switch up my dummies so I can show you my other two makes. Okay, Judy's are all switched. Now they're wearing my little McCall's coats. Don't they look fabulous? I mean, I love this sweater. It's exactly what I was looking for. And this is really cute. It's fun. I've worn it with some jeans. I have a pair of black denim jeans that have a knit edge on the bottom, so it works perfectly with those, and these really cute pockets, right, with more of that fringe around the edge. Love this pattern. It's really cute. Too bad it's out of print, but I'm sure you can find it on Amazon. So one of the projects that I did this month was a coat with some gifted fabric from Minerva for their Minerva Makers project, and I used Silhouette Pattern 1100, Ellen's jacket. I love this jacket. I've made it a whole bunch of times, and this time I made it out of this shiny silver stretch pleather. It's absolutely so much fun. It wears gorgeously. This pattern has these funky pin tucks on the sleeves, so it adds a lot of detail for something that's very simple. That the jacket, the fabric is very simple, and it has princess seaming, so it's pin tucks on both sleeves. And then instead of putting on a full traditional collar, I just used the collar stand, and I used pin tucks on the collar stand to kind of tie in with the sleeves. So there is a blog post on this, and I will attach that also in the bottom, about how I went about making the collar, which was kind of interesting. And so the process of copying these pin tucks and some of the things that you want to look out for when you're working with pin tucks. And again, this has just a front zip, and I like this little triangle detail at the bottom of the hem there. So nice jacket. And another silhouette pattern. You know, I love silhouette, right? So this is Sheila's jacket, 1819. It's a very simple, unconstructed jacket. And this jacket's been hanging around in my studio. It's been finished, and it's been hanging around in my studio for a while because I wasn't sure how I wanted to finish the edge. On the pattern, it calls for just doing a decorative stitch and leaving it raw. And for me, that's really difficult to do because I see the little imperfections in the snips. No matter how careful you are with the rotary cutter or your scissors, you still don't get like a really beautiful edge finish. So what I did, I have this really cute fabric that I got from, I think it came from B&J, but it could have been Mood. And I added these black Pontoroma sleeves. So this stretches a little bit, and then the Pontoroma sleeves are super stretchy. So what I did was I had plenty of this Pontoroma because I buy it, 10 yards at a time, and I just made some trim and sewed it on, some bias binding. Well, it's actually not even bias because it's stretchy, so I just cut strips of it and did one continuous strip all the way around the edge. So I'm really happy with the way this finished. This finished much better than just leaving it raw. I considered doing a serged edge, but if that's not perfect, then you have little loops. And I have a machine that does a fancy stitch, but I was afraid the raw edge, if it gobbled up the fabric a little bit, or if it wasn't completely spaced all the way around beautifully, I wouldn't wear it because I would be disappointed in it, knowing myself. And I love this fabric because I had this striped fabric for a couple of years waiting to make this jacket. So I was really happy with this decision. It looks great. I think it just frames the fabric, and it gives it breaks up that linear line a little bit. So I'm really happy with that. So those are all my jackets. And then I've been making tote bags. I actually wrote a tote bag pattern, a paper pattern, and then I did a complete step-by-step tote bag video. And again, I'll put links to those in the bottom. The tote bag video takes you every step of the way, how to do it, all videotaped, some written PDF instructions, but the assembly part is all there on video, so you can watch me do it as I'm putting it together. So these are the tote bags, and what I love about them is they have long handles and they have a pocket. They're lined, which is wonderful, and then they have this really sturdy bottom, and you put feet in them. Let me move this. So there's feet in them, so the bag actually stands on its own. And since we're not using plastic bags so much in the grocery store anymore, and those paper bags are such a nuisance, you might as well have a bag that you like. And the thing about the video is that once you make this bag, the method of making it and matching it, you can make the bag any size you want, and you don't have to do a lot of math. So the way we line up the handles and the way that the bottom is placed, this reinforced bottom piece, and the way the lining in the bag is cut, you can make up any kind of measurements that you want. This one, the pattern ends up with a bag that's like 16 by 13 inches finished, but certainly you can make it as big or small as you want. Here's another one. This one is made, same bag, it is made with a print from Tula Pink, and I have kits for this actually on my Etsy site. It's the same bag, it's got the feet, it sits up really well. I mean, this Tula Pink lined inkwork fabric, line work ink fabric is just so cute, and it comes in a bunch of different patterns. So these tote bags are super easy to make. I suggest you take a look at the pattern, and you'll be really happy with what you have. Then I made another one for my daughter. She does cloth diapers, and so she wanted one, and this one's made out of PUL. It's a polyvinyl, let me see if I wrote it down. I think I wrote it down. Polyurethane laminate, PUL. And I did the same thing, pocket, handles, but I also put a zipper in this one. And I'll write up a little blog post about putting in the zipper because she wanted it. But the perfect thing about this is a diaper bag is that it goes right in the washing machine. So she puts her cloth diapers in here, her soiled cloth diapers, and then when she gets home, she just unloads it right into the machine. So everything goes right in the machine. She doesn't even have to touch them again. So that is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 items that I made this month. Super busy, plus getting everything ready for my Etsy store, which I launched this month also. So I'm pretty excited about that, and wrote 2 patterns. So now, next month, I have a big, huge project I'm working on. I am doing a blouse class. So I'm going to take you from start to finish with 6 different blouses, how to shirt dresses and shirts. They are everywhere on the runway. All of the designers have at least one version of them. They're long, they're short, they have huge collars, they have little collars, they have no collar, long sleeves, short sleeves. They're every version you could possibly imagine of these blouses, and a lot of them are in like a Liberty of London print. Liberty is really big right now, all the little ditzy prints and the very flowery kind of stuff that you get from them. So I have 2 patterns and 6 fabrics that I'm going to work on for this video. Let me show them to you. And I'm going to use my 2 very favorite patterns. The first one is the Kaylee top by Closet Case Patterns. That's my closet case. It is a button-down dress. It is a shirt top. I've made it at least 4 times, and I've made 2 shirt dresses and 2 of the tops. And one of the things about this pattern is it has this pop-over placket, the placket that goes down the front that isn't cut. So when you use some of the other patterns, when they do those plackets on the shirt dresses, the ones that don't button all the way down, they cut it and you always have this raw piece of fabric that has a tendency to rip and your dress is ruined. This doesn't happen with this pattern. They have perfected the popover placket. It's amazing. And then the other thing that they have is they do a burrito method when you put on the yoke. So it's absolutely terrific. And so we're going to demonstrate that. So we're going to do the shirt dress with the popover placket out of this rayon. I believe it's a rayon. It's a viscose rayon, and it's from France. And I got this at Elliott Berman. So this is going to be the Kaylee with the popover placket. So that's going to be adorable. So it's short, like hip length probably. I mean, I don't want a really, really short one. And then I'm going to do, this is a Liberty of London print. Isn't that cute? Right? I mean, these little cherry prints. I mean, Liberty is everywhere. If you have put one blouse, if you make one blouse this season, you need to make a Liberty blouse for spring, because they're everywhere, and it'll bring your wardrobe right up into the next level. You can just wear them with a pair of jeans. It looks adorable. So I'm going to make this a long shirt dress, buttons down the front, and what I'm going to do is add this sleeve right here from this vintage New Look pattern. It is D0720 New Look pattern, but I love this sleeve. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a slit going up it, so it's very boho, and this reminds me of something very boho, and you're seeing a lot of that on the runway. So it's got a slit that goes up here with little ties, with cute little ties. So we're going to learn how to take a pattern like this and superimpose a different sleeve on it. So that's going to be a technique that we're going to use for this one, along with the full-length placket that goes all the way down with the buttonholes. So those are the two that I'm going to make with the Kaylee shirt pattern. And then the other pattern I'm going to use is just a classic blouse. It's Silhouette 600 classic blouse. It is classic. It's got a collar, button down front, regular cuffs, shirt tail hem. It's about as classic as you can get. It does have darts in the back, and it has bust darts in the front, and it has, they're not fisheye because they go all the way down, but darts going down the back. So it's very slimming. And we're going to make the pattern just the way it is, essentially, with this white shirt fabric. It's just a white cotton linen, cotton blend shirt fabric. Has no give to it at all. Traditional men's style fabric shirt, just to get the classic fit and the classic feel of a shirt dress, a shirt blouse. The classic feel of a blouse. There we go. And they're, again, everywhere. White button downs everywhere you go. The other thing we're going to do with that is this. I love this boho kind of abstract pattern boho print. And this is also from Elliott Berman. This is a rayon challis, and it's from France. And I'm going to make this pretty long. And I'm going to make this pretty long. One of the things that you're seeing on the runway is these slits going up the front of the shirt blouses. So this really soft, drapey. This is almost, I mean, it's pretty drapey, right? Going up the front of the shirt through the center of the thigh is a slit. So the dress goes to the floor, and the slit goes all the way to the center of the thigh. That's probably a bit too trendy for me. But I think what I'm going to do is I'll leave the slits up the side so you can take the front and tie it in a knot, which is kind of a fun look, or you can let it hang long and wear it over a pair of leggings, right? And then it'll have buttons all the way down the front. So we're going to do that. So that's another technique. We're going to learn how to do the slits and change the pattern so we're lengthening it. This is also from Elliott Berman. It is a silk viscose. Let's see, I want to show you the right side because this fabric is stunning. It's a hand-painted silk, and I only have one panel, which is about a yard. It goes all the way, there's like a little stream on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this 600 pattern, and we're going to take the buttons off the front, and we're going to make it sleeveless and more like a tank top. And I'm going to put a side zipper in it, because if we take the buttons out, we won't be able to get it. I won't be able to get it over my head. So I'm going to put a side zipper in it. So I'm going to make it very, very simple, very classic, because you want to see You want to see that beautiful silk painting on it. So I don't want any buttons in the way. I don't want a collar. I want it super, super simple. So that's what we're going to do. So that's another technique. So we're going to take the pattern and learn how to put the center on the fold and put a side placket zipper in it so you can get it on over your head. Then my last fabric is a cotton voile. Oh, so cute. Look at that. How cute is that, right? Daffodils and little berries and or little flowers. And I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet, but I do know that it's going to be part of the class. And I have 3 yards, so it'll probably be a long dress. It'll be a shirt dress. So that is what's happening here. I'm really looking forward to starting that blouse class because I think it's just going to be amazing. We're going to learn how to turn perfect collars and hand finish seams so they look beautiful. We'll probably do some French seaming. We're going to do an inserted zipper. We're going to learn how to switch out armholes from one pattern to the other to make a kind of a Franken pattern. We're going to, we'll probably take the collar and change it up. So we're just using the collar stand on one of them instead of the full collar, the pop over placket, the burrito method for the yoke. There are so many things that we're going to learn in this class, and I'm really looking forward to getting it out there to everyone. So until then, I hope you all stay safe, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye now.